good. I always like to retract my coaching.
Good morning. We'll call to order the Board of Public Works and Safety meeting. Board, in front of you, you have the minutes from the December 17th regular meeting.
I'll move to approve those minutes.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to approve the minutes. Any questions or discussion? Hearing none, I'll call for a question. All in favor, signify by saying aye.
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 Aye. Opposed, same sign. Introduction of guests: Jericho Schoaf, Catherine Sattison, Damon Gentis, Brandon Anderson, Jake Bollett, Brad Greenlee, John Hunt, Jennifer Christ, Victoria Johnson, Tiffany Wetzel, Dan Ray, Baron Kennedy, D. Isaac Turner, Isaac Weimer, Eduardo Riviera. Welcome. We're going to begin with 3 service awards. So first we have Jennifer Christ. And we will do, we'll do a photo with the 2 5-year Susan together. So, well, congratulations on 5 years.
Thank you so much.
Proud to have you.
Appreciate it.
Thank you. And then, yeah, just wait over there. We'll take one. D. Isaac. Morning. Congratulations on 5 years with AES. It was a fun day out there running some lines with you guys that one day.
Want to do it today?
Nope. I think we spent about an hour though getting that bid out that somebody got stuck.
That
but,
we did.
Congratulations.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
No. You want to take one with the both, Andy or Jeff? So, yeah, wherever you'd like.
I'll put it in.
Thank you. Hey, Jennifer. Next, Dan Ray. First of all, congratulations on 35 years. I think that's the second longest tenure in the city, I believe.
Third.
Okay, third.
Tracy's here, been here too,
But,
as long as
Just
Bill.
want to thank you for your loyalty, dedication, and hard work for WPC, and I'm sure you've been a role model to many over the years. And again, congratulations on 35 years.
All right. No, get back to work, man.
Yeah, go do something, will you?
Okay, moving on to reports from department heads. First, we have building and planning.
Good morning.
Morning.
We have one item on the agenda. Todd Ramsey of Fort Willie LLC is requesting approval for a utility services and easement encroachment agreement. This would be for the future Sonic Drive-In restaurant located at 1520 Shook Drive. This agreement would allow the access drive to encroach the utility easement.
I'll move to approve the utility service agreement with Fort Willie LLC.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Any questions or discussion? Hearing none, I'll call for a question. All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye, opposed, same sign. Thank you. Nothing from IT this morning. That brings us to AES.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Morning.
Today, it's not on. Okay. Today, asking for your approval to accept grant funds in the amount of $4,800 from the Indiana Connectivity Program.
I'll move to approve the acceptance of the grant funds from the Indiana Connectivity Program. In the amount of $4,800.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second to accept the grant funds. Any questions or discussion? Hearing none, I'll call for a question. All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye, opposed, same sign.
Next, we have a one-year service contract for with CSI for maintenance at the data center in the amount of $12,960.
I'll move to approve the one-year service contract with CSI for $12,960.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any discussion? Questions? Hearing none, I'll call for a question. All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye, opposed, same sign.
And lastly, requesting your approval for a 3-year agreement for a customer with services at 1016 West 7th Street, services with AES, a 3-year contract with monthly reoccurring charges of $495 and one-time charges of $98.95.
I'll move to approve 3-year agreement with 1016 West 7th Street, monthly charges of $400.95 with a one-time charge of $98.95.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. Any questions or discussion? Hearing none, I'll call for a question. All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye, opposed, same sign. Thank you.
Thank you.
Human Resources.
Good morning.
Good morning.
I'm here in a request for the approval of the contract for added platforms through Paycom, our payroll system. These platforms will help our payroll system to ensure compliance with our state and federal agencies. Examples would be like our OSHA 300, our FMLA tracking, EEOC, and our VETS 4212. Other platforms that I'm going to be requesting are the garnishment, where they will be entering all of any garnishments that come through. The other one would be through our benefits. We do open enrollment through Paycom right now. This will just be allow them to send the data then to our carriers instead of manually doing it. Last platform would be a personal action form. This will just help us with the automation of streamlining life cycles of employees from hire to termination. The cost would not exceed $3.11 per employee, and that would be per pay period.
I'll move to approve the added platforms through Paycom at a cost not to exceed $3.11 per employee per pay.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Any questions or discussion?
Thank you.
Hearing none, I'll call for a question. All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye, opposed, same sign. Thank you. Okay, nothing from city attorney. He is ill today. That brings us to city engineer.
Morning.
Good morning, Dale.
Several items this morning. The first one is getting Board of Works approval to apply for the next round of NDOT Community Crossings matching grant. This would be for the 2025-1 application. We've put together a project in the amount of $3,030,000, and this would be for 50% matching for that. And that application period is currently open January 1 through January 31st of this month.
I will move to approve the request for the approval to apply for the NDOT matching grant for the 2025-1 period. You want to help?
Yeah, do the amount and please state the list.
With the total estimated construction cost of $3,030,000, There will be included the Indian Village subdivision, the Hidden Creek subdivision, the Greenhurst Court, Wesley Road, Gates Cove, Matthew Cove, North Street, West 9th Street, North Indiana Avenue, West Auburn Drive, and East Auburn Drive.
Second.
And we have a motion and a second. Any questions or discussion? Hearing none, I'll call for a question. All in favor, signify by saying aye.
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 Aye, opposed, same sign.
Thank you. The next item is for our 2025 paving project. This was also an NDOT Community Crossings project. This would be the approval of the bid tab and the recommendation letter, and then execution of the notice of award. We received 2 bids for that project, and the low bid was API Construction in the amount of $1,630,037.80.
I'll move to approve the recommendation of notice of the award for the bids for the 2025 paving project at API Construction. The amount is $1,630,037.80.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any questions or discussion? Hearing none, I'll call for a question. All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye, opposed, same sign.
Thank you. The next item is for the Auburn Fire Department Training Facility Site Expansion Project. This would be asking Board of Works approval of the bid tabulation, the bid summary, recommendation letter from Martin Riley, and then a notice of award. There were 4 bids received for that project. And Crosby Excavating Incorporated was the low bid in the amount of $356,451.10.
I'll move to approve the Auburn Fire Department Training Facility Site acceptance of bids and the notice of award to Crosby Construction, Crosby Excavating. And the amount is $356,451.10.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any questions or discussion?
When do they plan on starting that?
Immediately, as far as, I think it's late February is when they want to get going.
Right.
Hearing no other questions or discussion, I'll call for a question. All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye, opposed, same sign.
Thank you. The next item is for our 15th Street reconstruction project. This is with the contractor Culver Asphalt Paving Incorporated. This would be the final change order and maintenance bond, 3-year maintenance bond. The final change order results in a decrease of $25,506.80. The original bid contract cost was $887,844. The final contract cost per this final change order is $862,337.21.
I'll move to approve the 15th Street reconstruction project final change order and maintenance bond for 3 years. The final change order result decreased in $25,506.80 to a new total of $862,337.21.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Any questions or discussion? Hearing none, I'll call for a question. All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye, opposed, same sign.
Thank you. The last item is for a new project called our State Road 8 Sidewalk Improvements Project. This is asking the Board of Works approval to bid that project, publicly advertise and bid that. Design plans and project manual have been provided for your review. That is for work this year.
I will move to approve the State Road 8 Sidewalks Improvement Project and the approval to bid that project.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Any questions or discussion? I'll just mention this is kind of in preparation of the State Road 8 median project being done next year through a partnership with NDOT. So this one will be between Depot and Grand Staff. I believe sidewalks on north and south side.
Correct.
Some new light fixtures and some beautification. So if there's no other questions or discussion, I'll call for a question. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed, same sign.
That's all I have. Thank you.
Nothing from the clerk this morning, so that brings us to fire.
Good morning.
Morning.
I have 3 items for you today. First item is requesting your approval to increase our fee for air tank filling. The last increase was in 2023, and before that was 2006. The new fee structure, you have that.
I'll move to approve the new fee structure for air tank filling.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any questions or discussion? Hearing none, I'll call for a question. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed, same sign.
Next item, requesting approval to sign an annual service agreement with Pro Air Midwest LLC. This is a National Fire Protection Association compliant service agreement for a breathing air compressor that we use to fill the bottles. So
I'll move to approve the annual service agreement with Pro Air Midwest LLC in the amount of $1,474.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any questions or discussion? Hearing none, I'll call for a question. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed, same sign.
And the last item, requesting your approval to sign a purchase agreement with McQueen Equipment LLC for the purchase of a new fire engine pumper. The purchase price is $1,218,000. We pay in full within 15 days of signing the agreement. We have a discount of $89,514, and it would result in a final price of $1,128,486. This is purchased through Sourcewell, Cooperative Purchasing Consortium that the city uses.
Yeah, sorry, I had a different number on my sheet.
I'll make a motion to approve the purchase of the new apparatus for the fire department in the amount of $1,128,486 to be paid within 15 days of the contract signing, so that we receive a discount of $89,514.
Second.
We have a motion to second. Any questions or discussion? I would like to just add that this was part of that public safety bond we did in March of 2024. Went along with the ladder truck. This truck is one that is due to be replaced. This truck will replace, I believe it's Quint 24, correct, Chief?
Yes, it'll put 2015 piece of apparatus into reserve status, and then we will also surplus 1998 truck.
And the reason we're purchasing this now is because we're looking at a delivery of about 32 to 35 months from the acceptance of the contract. So, if there's no other questions or discussion, I'll call for a question. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed, same sign.
Thank you.
Thank you. Yeah, it was correct on the first page, or on the contract, but on the initial cover sheet, it was, we had updated it. Okay, that brings us to the mayor. The first thing I have is our annual agreement with Baker Tilly for 2025 to provide municipal advisory services to the city.
I'll move to approve the 2025 agreement with Baker Tilly for the annual. It's different from the utilities one, but this is for the annual contract with the city.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Any questions or discussion? I'll just make note that these agreements basically are were built by their time. So if there's no other questions or discussion, I'll call for a question. All in favor, signify by saying aye.
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 Aye, opposed, same sign. The second one is an engagement letter, so they may provide municipal advisory services for our utilities.
I'll move to approve the 2025 agreement with Baker Tilly so they can provide consultation for our utilities.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any questions or discussion? Hearing none, I'll call for a question. All in favor, signify by saying aye.
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 Aye, both same sign. And then the last one with Baker Tilly is for them to provide municipal advisory services for any bond-related issues in 2025.
I'll move to approve the 2025 agreement with Baker Tilly for their advisory services on bond issues.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion, a second. Any questions or discussion? Hearing none, I'll call for a question. All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye, opposed, same sign. The next one is an agreement with the DeKalb County Fair Association. They are going to take the old railroad bridge for $1 to be utilized down at the fairgrounds.
I'll move to approve the 11th Street Bridge contract with the DeKalb County Fair Association for $1. Couldn't get more.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion, a second. Any questions or discussion? I'd just like to say, I think that's, when we were looking at surplusing that bridge, I think it's a huge win. We kept it in DeKalb County.
I agree.
Because we did have some interest from outside, so I was excited to partner with the fair. If there's no other questions or discussion, I'll call for a question. All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye, opposed, same sign. Next one is the IDEM environmental review. That's a partnership between the city and the Auburn-Duesenberg Museum, done through Okra. Brandon, would you like to speak on that at all? We have Brandon Anderson, which is the executive director from the ACD Museum.
Hi, good morning. Thank you for having us here. Appreciate all of your continued support with the Auburn-Duesenberg Automobile Museum. Part of what you all have already approved at the last meeting or in January, or one of the last meetings, was that the pass-through of being able to have our grant administrator serve as the environmental review officer for Section 106 federal review, since we are utilizing federal funds for this project, similar to how we did our HVAC and roof. So this will allow us to go into environmental review, make sure that we're not impacting anything, including any visual disturbance around the area. We are happy to announce that this grant went from $500,000 to $750,000. So that's a very nice increase. Again, I've come to you before to share, but this is for the showroom portion of the building. So the entire front section with large Auburn-Duesenberg windows all the way up to the roof. So it'll take care of that portion of the building. Right now, with an estimated opinion of probable cost with Martin Riley of about $1.6 million.
Thank you for sharing.
You're welcome. Thank you.
I'll move to approve the item environmental review with the ACD Okra grant, ACD Museum Okra grant.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion, a second. Any questions or discussion? Hearing none, I'll call for a question. All in favor, signify by saying aye.
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 Aye, opposed, same sign. And lastly, it's our yearly agreement with Auburn Main Street in the amount of $50,000. And that is from January 1 of 2025 through December 31st, 2025. And that will cover the executive director's salary
I'll move to approve the agreement with the Auburn Main Street. I guess it's the Auburn Main Street Board. And the amount of $50,000.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Any questions or discussion?
I will say, like, I don't know how to say this other than just say it, but another annual report that shows an operating loss. I don't know if I would be speculating on what it would, what the cause was and what the fix is, but maybe it's put an emphasis on fundraising to cover things. But
Yeah, it's important to make sure we maintain a positive end of year. Any other questions or discussion? Hearing none, I'll call for a question. All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed?
okay.
Nothing from parks, nothing from police, nothing from street, electric.
Good morning.
Morning.
We have 6 items for the board's approval today. First being the purchase of remote disconnect meters for inventory, 500 meters for a cost of $101 for the total cost of $55,500.
I'll move to approve the remote disconnect meters, 500 of them at $111 each for a total of $55,500.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Any questions or discussion? Hearing none, I'll call for a question. All in favor, signify by saying aye.
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 Aye. Opposed, same sign.
The second item we have today is a change order for a transformer purchase that was approved December 17th, 2024 for a 2,500 kVA transformer to Cal Metal Finishing for the cost of $74,795. The change would be $10,200, which would bring the total cost for the transformer $84,995.
I'll move to approve the change order on the transformer purchase. The change was $10,200 for a total price of $84,995.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Any questions or discussion? I'll just add that this cost increase is due to the demand, and that in addition to the original amount, the additional cost for the transformer will be passed on to the customer. No other questions or discussion? I'll call for a question. All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed, same.
The third item we have for the board's approval is a surplus of 8 transformers that have failed and are no longer of use.
I'll move to approve the surplus of the 8 transformers.
Second.
Have a motion and a second, plus the 8 units. Any questions or discussion?
Justin, do those just get recycled?
They
They
go,
get repurposed?
they get recycled. So we have a company that'll give us quotes on them, and we'll go to the highest, whoever chooses. They rewind the transformers most of the time.
There's no other questions or discussion. I'll call for a question. All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed, same.
Then we also have, for the board's approval, this is the modules and software from Tanless that support our meters. This would be the purchase of 500 modules and software for the cost of $90.58 per meter for a total of $45,290, and that would just be modules. And then the software endpoint, which allow us to connect to our system, for the total for 500 of those for $375 at the total of $1,875.
I'll move to approve the modules and endpoints with Tantalus. The modules at $45,290 and the endpoints at $1,875.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Any questions or discussion? Hearing none, I'll call for a question. All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye, opposed, same.
The next item that we have for the board's approval today is the acceptance of 733 Greenhaven Terrace deed of easement. This will allow us to maintain and replace aging infrastructure.
I'll move to approve the deed of easement with 733 Greenhaven Terrace.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any questions or discussion?
This Greenhaven Terrace, there were a bunch of these last year too. And this is the neighbor to those that we did, the easements that we did last year.
Yes, so we're waiting on.
All right in a line, right?
Yes, yeah, so that we're waiting on 2 more, and then we can start replacing Pirelli cable that is way past its life expectancy and has actually failed. So a few of the customers are on a radial feed, and once that cable fails, they're gonna be out of power for an extended amount of time until we're able to get in there and replace it.
And we are waiting on the residents'
Yes, sir.
response.
Yes, sir.
Okay, if there's no other questions or discussion, I'll call for a question. All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye, opposed, same sign.
The last item is a supply service agreement with NOAC. This will involve 12 nitrogen containers, rental for 29 cents per day, a refill fee of $35, and one-time delivery fee of $49.
I'll move to approve the nitrogen cylinder rentals with NOAC supply. The total monthly charge would be $472.48.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Any questions or discussion? Hearing none, I'll call for a question. All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye, opposed, same sign. Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Next, we have water.
Good morning.
Morning.
Water Department has a couple items for your consideration today. The first is regarding our Auburn Water Department building expansion projects, which you're familiar with and we've talked about previously. The board last November approved to advertise for RFPQs for this project. By the deadline of December 6th, 2 proposal packets were received. And before you have a letter of recommendation. Well, first of all, there was a committee appointed by the mayor for review and due diligence on these. And so in doing this due diligence, we evaluated each qualifications packet independently before meeting as a group to discuss each offer's presentation and qualifications. And upon the review of those, we found all requirements were met in the process. The committee believes both offers are qualified to complete the project. Upon following the review, we recommend the board selects to award the BOT project for the Auburn Water Department building expansion to Envoy. So Envoy recently completed a similar project in DeKalb County to construct a new water department building for the city of Garrett in 2023. It's very similar to the type of work we're having done, and we were very pleased in the type of work that was done on the final product. And so therefore, we're recommending the boards to select Envoy to handle that project.
Excellent. I will move to approve the RFPQ for the building expansion project. And the award of that project to Envoy. Thank you. To Envoy.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second to award the water building expansion project to Envoy. I'm gonna suspend the Board of Works meeting, open up the public hearing. Is there anyone in the public that would like to speak in regards to the Water Department Building Expansion BOT project? Is there anyone that would like to speak in regards to the Water Building Expansion BOT project? Hearing none, we'll close the public hearing, reconvene the Board of Works. We have a motion second. Any questions or discussion? Hearing none, I'll call for a question. All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye, opposed, same sign.
Thank you. Second and last item is an annual safety training services renewal for the water department. This is with SDS Environmental. This comes at a $50 per month increase from 2024 services, so it brings the total monthly cost for 2025 to $600 per month.
I will move to approve the agreement with SES Environmental for safety training services and renewal for a total amount of $600 per month.
Second.
Here we have a motion second. Any questions or discussion? Hearing none, I'll call for a question. All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye, opposed, same sign. Thank you.
Thank you.
Water pollution.
Morning.
Morning.
Turn the mic on, please. Thank you.
Morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
The Water Pollution Control Department has 4 items for your consideration this morning. The first, the sewer abatement request at 426 West 7th Street. It's due to sprinkler system, and we did investigate that, and it did go to ground and not to the wastewater treatment plant. And I guess I'll turn it over to the mayor to kind of speak on the request.
Yeah, so I'll make a motion to approve the abatement from August 7th, 2024 through November 6th of 2024, and approve an abatement anything over the 6,000 gallons. However, that is contingent upon one of 2 things, either disconnecting the irrigation system or installing a separate meter. So upon completion of one of those 2 things is when the abatement will be applied.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Any questions or discussion? Hearing none, I'll call for a question. All in favor, signify by saying aye.
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 Aye, opposed, same sign.
Thank you. The second item is 2025 WPC's chemicals purchases through Web Chemical. Estimated amount of the cost for those chemicals is at $180,000 for this year.
I'll move to approve the 2025 chemical purchases with Web Chemical. Estimated total cost to be $180,000.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any questions or discussion? Hearing none, I'll call for a question. All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye, opposed, same.
Thank you. The third item is our 2025 OMSI purchases for our biosolids process. That would be in the amount of $80,000 for this year.
I'll move to approve the 2025 organic and mineral systems purchases and an estimated total cost of $80,000.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Any question or discussion? Hearing none, I'll call for a question. All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye, opposed, same sign.
Thank you. And then the third item is also with SES for our health and safety services for 2025, and also our tier 2 reporting is included in that as well for $7,800 for the year.
I will move to approve the SES Health and Safety Services and Tier 2 reporting for a total cost of $7,800.
I'll second.
We have a motion, a second. Any questions or discussion?
I do have one question. Do you know if this one went up? You know, SES, this is different than the training.
I believe it did go up a little bit.
It's more of a question of curiosity than,
Yes, I think we did have an increase, but it wasn't very much from the previous year. And this was the first year too, last year was the first year we had to do tier 2 reporting as well, so that was an added cost. So.
Any other questions or discussion? Hearing none, I'll call for a question. All in favor, signify by saying aye.
aye.
Aye. Opposed? Same sign. Thank you.
Thanks.
Announcements, next Board of Works regular meeting is Tuesday, February 4th, 2025 at 9 a.m. Is there any other business to come before the board?
I'll move to adjourn. Second.
Yeah, we have a motion, a second to adjourn. All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Meeting adjourned.